Hey y'all, it's Lauren and Jamie.
Today we are talking about social media, the good, the bad, and the edited.
This is the Chicks and Dip podcast. Hey y'all.
Hello.
It's Lauren.
It's Jamie. Welcome to the Chicks and Dip podcast. We are so glad that y'all are here.
We are here, y'all. We're putting in the work for you guys. We recorded an episode yesterday, back to back for you.
Yeah, and we were actually coordinated today. If you're watching the video version, we've got this blue vibe, but not blue in the way that we're sad. We're all happy vibes here, so maybe we should be wearing yellow.
Good vibe. Oh my god, she went like full opposite color wheel, emotion wheel.
Roy G. Biv.
Listen, we're wearing happy blue today. We're in a great mood. We've got a good episode for you. It's just us again this week.
Yeah.
I figure next week we'll probably come back with a guest, but we're traveling, which by the time this comes out,
it will be after.
oh, we're going to be serving you nothing but good NOLA content.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, we should have planned this out better so we could tell some New Orleans plans and stories.
I know. We still got to think about it. We're going for our friend Kate's bachelorette, which is going to be so fun. But I've never been to New Orleans before. Lauren has. It's I keep saying it's your playground because it's your favorite place in the world. So it's going to be exciting. We're going to create some content while being there. So we'll definitely have funny stories to tell.
Yeah. Maybe we could do a live from the airport or something.
Oh.
We're going to have just some big crazy news coming up. So
yeah.
At this point, you'll have known the news. This is confusing me too much. This will come out a little. We're going to be out of town, you guys.
Yeah,
just
we'll be fine.
Ignore this.
Yeah.
Before we get into our topic, which is social media, the good, the bad, and the edited,
Love it.
we are going to talk about some of the things we've been going off about over Chips and Dip.
Yeah. That first being pet names and what you call your partners, what you call your friends, just in general. And I know you feel very strongly about this, so I will quite literally let you.
There's a few. I don't feel. It's not necessarily that I hate it overall. There's just certain things. There's certain things that you just hate when people do. And for me, the top number one, if I hear you say it, I'm disgusted, is nugget. If you call your boyfriend your little nugget, or your boyfriend calls you nugget, my cute nugget, happy birthday to my cute little nugget, happy birthday, babe nugget. That's disgusting. Nauseating. Oh my God, if I was dating a man and he called me nugget, never ever would we hook up ever again.
I feel I'm sorry. Am I your child?
Even if you call your
so
kid
weird.
nugget, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I have definitely never someone that I'm dating. No. I would never call them nugget. But I've definitely, if I see a cute cat or a baby, I'm like, oh my God, a little nugget, a little chicken nugget. So cute.
It pains me.
I mean, I would never call my boyfriend that. That'd be so alarming.
And I don't even know why I hate it. If I'm trying to think of who did I ever see call someone nugget, I can't really even place it, but I've just seen, those people who are oh, little nugget. Hate it.
Yeah. And I mean, it is funny once you get into relationships, what you come up with for things. My last one, we would call each other honey all the time.
I like that.
Which I did not like growing up. I'm like, ugh, honey. What am I, your granddaughter? I don't like that at all. And then we would call each other honey. Oh, Mr. Kim.
He picked me
Mr. Kim
today.
is a little honey. We would call each other honey all the time. And for a while, I was like, wow, I would love for someone to call me babe. And then one guy at back called me babe multiple times. And I was like, no. Never again. Don't ever. Maybe later on in the future with somebody else, it'll be fine. But
me and Cameron are actually baby people, which is weird. And I don't even know when it started. We text each other that, and I don't know. If we're in a crowded room, I'll just hear him go babe. And I know that's me.
Yeah.
But it didn't if he had done that whenever we had only been dating for 3 months, I would have been really weirded out. I think time definitely matters.
I think it's the context too of how you're using it also. Oh, Mr. Kim
Don't
is
you
trying
dare
to get the Tostitos.
If y'all are audio only, Mr. Kim is hungry. He just went straight in for our chips and dip.
He has a 17-pound cat, so he does his snack time.
He's got to eat.
I admitted this to Lauren also before we started the podcast, and I very much so regret it because you should have seen her face when I said it. But I will fully admit that my high school boyfriend and I would talk to each other in baby voices all the time. All the time. And like looking back on that now, I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that supposed to make you cuter?
Was it?
Oh my God, ew. I'm like cringing so hard at myself thinking about doing that. Ew, ew, ew. Because we definitely did that like in front of his family. I'm going to throw up. Oh my God. Oh, I'm sweating. Oh my God. That's like not okay.
It's okay. Cameron
fine.
used a baby voice on me one time because I was so pathetic. I had like the worst headache ever. It was like one of my migraines, and I was laying there with like an ice pack on my forehead and a like eye mask on and shit. And he goes, "Oh, baby Wowen." And I was like, I'm furious. Now I'm pissed. I don't feel good, and now I'm pissed.
I love that the L's turn into a W like immediately. Yeah, I mean, in that situation, that's totally fine. But like, just I was like, just gonna start doing it. I'm like, I don't even know.
No.
I can't bring myself back to those times. Oh my God, that's so horrible. Oh wow, I hate myself. Yep.
Another nickname that I am obsessed with that I try not to say in front of people because then I have to tell the whole story. You know how whenever you're hungover and like you're just goofy, you
Yeah.
know, like you say the craziest stupid stuff and it
Oh.
doesn't make sense.
Oh, for sure.
So me and Cameron had been out. This was probably almost 2 years ago at this point. We had been out and I woke up and he just like goes, and like rolled away from me. And I was like, "What's your problem?" And I could tell the energy was that goofy hungover energy. He goes, "You were mean to me last night." And I said, "I was mean to you. What'd I do?" And he goes,
Let me know.
he says, "You can
I don't know.
sorry." He says, "You called me fat cheeks."
Oh God, is this like a pet name for you two now?
No. Well, kind of. I said, "I called you what?" And he was like, "Call me fat cheeks." And I was like, where did that, like, out of the blue, no context, he just made it up. And it was so funny and goofy in that moment that, like, to this day, I'll be like, "Yo, fat cheeks Cam, what are you doing?"
Oh my God, you got to put that on like a present for Christmas, like to Fat Cheeks Cam from Warren.
I think the calendar in there, you know, I, like, leave a little note in the morning. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure today it's actually signed, like, "I love you, FCC," which is Fat Cheeks Cam.
Oh my God.
It's stuck for whatever reason, like.
Yeah, it is so weird to think about the things that stick when you're
Right?
in a relationship. Like, where did this come from?
I know.
Oh my God, it's so weird. Like, even, oh my God, like my last relationship, we'd hiss at each other.
Like,
Like full on Mr. Kim mode. Like, like if I was being sassy, I think I started doing it. And I would literally hiss at him, or like he would hiss at me. So weird. Oh my God. I am so weird. So
No.
many things are coming out at this moment. But like you really just think about these things that happen in a relationship and you think it's so freaking normal. Can you imagine if we were out to dinner in Savannah and started hissing at each other?
"Ma'am, how's that cocktail?"
Be like, I'm bringing you to the Humane Society immediately. Like, you're done. You're done.
That's hilarious, actually. I
Oh
really
my
like
God.
that.
I think like I had said that to him probably like a few weeks ago or something. And we were just like, yeah, we're really weird.
Why did we do
Like,
that?
why did we hiss
Yeah.
at each other? Oh my
Another thing that
God.
I
Strange.
absolutely hate, it's not a pet name, but I hate whenever people say big girl job. I hate that.
Mhm.
I know what you mean. I know it's like not like the
Like-
same job that you had when you were 16. It's like an adult job. But I don't know why I just hate when people are like, "Off to my big girl job." I'm like, "Did you wear your big girl panties too?"
Well, I
Like-
feel like it's demeaning to yourself.
Agree. Like, it's a job. Bitch, it's
right.
a job.
Yeah, like go. It's not a big girl job. You're going to your job. Be proud of that. Be proud of yourself. Don't be like, oh, like you're diminishing yourself when you say it like that.
You are a woman.
do it.
Be a
Don't
woman.
be a bomb ass bitch.
Yeah, that. And then the only other thing I can think of that's also in line with that, this one makes me nauseous, is "I did a thing."
Oh.
You know how people say that? "I did a thing." And it's a picture of them with their haircut. Or, "So I did a thing." And it's them buying a
Oh.
house. I hate it.
I think that was a trend for a while.
That's why I hate it so much. I'm pretty sure if you looked far back, no one do this to me. If you look far back enough on
You
my
probably said
Instagram, I'm sure 15-year-old me said, "I did a thing."
Probably like the first time you got purple in your hair, you're like, ain't did a thing.
100% that was my Instagram
Yeah.
caption.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's why I hate it so much because like I outgrew it and now I'm like, ugh, what were you doing?
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, I look back at this honestly goes right into social media, which we're going to be talking about anyways.
Perfect.
But it makes me think of sometimes captions that we had on social media. I think we've had social media since I got a Facebook in 6th grade. I remember my first one, vividly remember my profile picture. I took a picture with like a little handheld camera in an Aeropostale t-shirt, like not well. And with that, we just grew up with it. Then we got Instagram and everything. And the things that we would post, I mean, the truth is statuses or like, I would be like, homework, TTYL or something. And I literally just thought of a picture that I posted senior year of high school. You know, when you do those dramatic senior year portraits and you only want them to post on social media.
I have one printed hanging in my parents' house and I'm trying to get it in this house.
I want that on the wall.
The visual aid is a picture of me.
But like I put a caption quoting Whitney Houston and it was like, I want to dance with somebody or something. And I'm like, what? Jamie, what went through your head in that moment that was like, this is it. This is the golden caption that's going to get me all the likes.
But that's how it was. That's how people were doing it. Like, we weren't uncool. The cool people were also posting those kinds of captions.
Right. And also, I mean, that's what I miss about social media is that when people didn't care.
Yeah.
Like now you have to care. What time am I posting? How many likes am I getting? We did not care whether it was a Facebook status, it was an Instagram photo, what you're tweeting. I mean, I don't know if your high school did this, but the Twitter wars that would happen. Oh my God, your high school didn't do this?
No.
Oh, wow. Oh,
No.
wow. Oh, yeah. Indirect, like, tweeting wars between people. Everyone would be following it. They would never add each other. Oh, yeah. It'd always be, like, between a guy and a girl.
God.
Oh, yeah. It was, like, the hot tea of high school, or honestly, middle school, too.
Oh, I love this. We used BlackBerry Messenger. Did you have that?
I had a BlackBerry for, like, a hot second because it was a
Okay.
hand-me-down from my parents, but I couldn't figure it out.
That BBM app, you could, like, fit, I don't know, maybe like 6 words in your status. And that's how the drama went around. Literally, like someone would change their like BBM status to be like, I don't know, it'd be like whatever 6-word Taylor Swift lyric you could really hit home with. And then someone would change their status and it would be like, feeling for you, Lauren.
No way.
Yeah. And it was like, I think I don't really remember how exactly it worked, but like that's how you texted people. You know, it was like like you see their name as their contact to send them a text message, but then you can also see their status. Yeah.
Wow.
I guess it was like Messenger, like on Facebook, maybe kind of. I don't know. But I feel like we need to like pause for a sec.
Yeah.
In case you haven't figured it out, the topic today is social media. So,
Oh, yeah. I guess we haven't like fully.
I like kind of said it, but we have just been like thinking about it a lot and feeling inspired. And so we're going to talk about like social media, where it's been, what it is now, things we love, things we hate.
Yeah.
And we're going to really dive in on editing yourself. So we're stoked. Let's go.
Yeah, because I really feel like we're the generation that grew up with that. It's so crazy to me now how when people don't know how to use things, which
Yeah.
love my parents and love their generation, but good Lord, please get off Facebook. I mean, they will post like happy because I just paid my taxes or something, like something so insane, and
Me too.
checking into every location possible.
Uh-huh.
Like we didn't need to do that.
I'll be honest with you. I love the check-in. Whenever I'm on vacation, I'm serious. Whenever I'm on
Lauren's
vacation,
like, it's for me.
I post a picture of like everything I do, and I like to like check in along the way. I don't do that at home though, and I don't know what gets into me. I kind of go into like mama mode or something. Like I behave like my mom, and it's really fun. I remember I went to this Airbnb, and it was in Asheville, and it was on an Amish farm. And whenever I checked in, they gave me a like freshly made cinnamon roll. It was incredible.
Oh.
And so I put a picture of the cinnamon roll and I checked in like this Amish farm in Asheville, and it was just like a map that was just like forced. I was like, checking in.
That's it. I'm in the middle of the woods. Hey. Honestly, your mom is so good at Facebook, though. She is. She's really good at Facebook. Like, I'm definitely not talking about her when I say that. I mean, like, some of my mother's friends. Like,
Oh, there's some people who are out of control on there.
yeah, and some people here in Savannah, too. Like, we need to tone it down a little bit.
Reel it back.
But yeah, I mean, specifically Instagram, too. I feel like when that came about, because Facebook, everybody was kind of on it. And when Instagram came about, I mean, it didn't matter how many times you posted a day, what time you posted at. And now there's like rules for this community that's on Instagram, these rules that we've made for each other.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me.
I feel like my relationship with Instagram is a little bit unique. Like, I don't know when it started, but I always say this sounds like really, really douchey when I say it, but like I'm gonna explain. I feel like I've been like branding myself literally since I was like 15 years old.
Yeah.
I just didn't know what that meant, and now everyone knows what that means. But like whenever I got Instagram, my parents like held out. I don't even know when I got it. I feel like I might have been in like the 9th grade, but they held out for like a while. On letting me like get on all of that. And so I had looked on with my mom on her Instagram. And so like I knew how to use it and I was like so jazzed about it. And I like really used Instagram like similarly to the way I used it as a grown person. Like I posted a lot of outfit pics and they were low quality, super crazy edit, cheesy caption. But I feel like I was weirdly on the track that like I still am. And so my relationship with Instagram, I always have kind of taken it seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like kind of weird. And like my friends in college, they used to like I'd post an outfit pic that was like freaking fire, and they would like give me a hard time and comment on it and be like, "Wow, love this," or like, but in like a sarcastic, like
Right.
jokey, poking fun at me kind of way. And I remember I would get actually butthurt about it because I was like, "You guys, y'all don't use this in a seriously like way, but I actually do," and I just don't know where that came from. Like I think back and I still was like that whenever I was like 15 and I don't know why.
That's so funny. I mean, I guess you were ahead of the times because
I guess.
yeah, I don't know. I never thought about it that way. And
Mhm.
even now, I mean, I don't even know what my brand would kind of be.
Yeah.
If I looked at my Instagram, like I guess I would kind of know, but I never thought about that when I was posting a picture. You know, you're super into fashion, which totally makes sense why you're posting things like that. I mean, I do have a highlight on my Instagram and I share music that I find.
Yeah.
And I don't care if nobody listens to that damn song. I will share it. Like I love music. We literally talked about this on the last episode. One of my favorite things in the world is music.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's where it kind of goes hand in hand that your profile is you and how you portray yourself on social media is kind of important.
Oh yeah.
Because then when people meet you in person, it's like you don't match or you do.
yes. Yeah.
Which is
That's
huge.
so the way you present yourself, two things. One, like piggybacking off of what I was saying, literally like the way I was on social media got me unpaid, but lots of opportunities. Like whenever I was like a teenager, you know, and that kind of paved the way for me to get into journalism and podcasting and all of that kind of stuff. And so I think like the way you come off is more than like just for friends, you know, like I feel like employers definitely look at that, but even not even employers, people who might just come across you and then come up with an opportunity that like fits you, you know? And I'm not saying everybody's trying to be an influencer. That's not what I mean at all. I mean, like, I don't know, if you just share stuff that you are into, like if you're really into music, who knows what opportunity? I don't know. Maybe someone's looking for someone to make a playlist.
Hey, oh my God.
Hire Jamie
please.
for a playlist.
I'll
I don't
do
know.
it.
But I don't know. I don't really want to go down that whole rabbit hole. But what me and you had kind of talked about earlier this week was specifically whenever someone has this online presence and then you meet them in person and you're like, what the hell? Like, it's not what I expected.
Right.
That is trippy.
Right. And I think there's two different parts, or honestly, maybe even more than two, but the main two that I'm thinking of is like if you're very outgoing on social media and then you meet someone in person and they are like the shyest, quietest, which is totally fine. If that is you, no judgment at all. But it's very confusing and very misleading. Because you're like, okay, whoa, I thought that this person, they feel like your friend at that point.
Yes.
When you follow people on social media and then when you see them in person, it's always kind of awkward in the beginning. And the other part is editing your photos. Like, for the love of God, it's not going to stop. Honestly, I think it's just going to keep getting worse.
Agree.
And it pains me to see, like, I have never edited my body in a photo because the way I look at it, and this is a whole nother episode that we need to do about like body image and stuff, but if you don't like the photo of yourself, don't post it.
Right.
Like, and it's so misleading, not only for the people that follow you, but for yourself. Why are you setting these unrealistic expectations for yourself?
Right.
I'm not going to make my torso longer because it's never going to happen. I accept that I'm 5'4" and have short ass legs. Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
The thing is, if I was looking at your Instagram and you looked like you were 6 feet and I wouldn't recognize you in a crowd. And then what do I say to your face? I'm going to be tripping out. Like, what?
Yeah.
Is that Jamie?
Oh my God. I mean, we just look at so many people on Instagram that I'm like, don't do it. Just please don't do it. I don't know.
I feel kind of two different ways about it because on the one hand, I'm like, do whatever the fuck you want to do. It's your social media. Like, I support you. If that makes you feel good to edit your waist, add some booty, do it. But again, because I take it seriously, I think like I want people to be as genuine as possible on social media. And then I have talked to you about this, like not to take it to like a serious turn, but I have a little sister, and that is something that as an older sibling, specifically for girls, like she's always in the back of my mind. And like, especially when we were in high school, I know her and her friends, they looked up to me, and I didn't want them to ever look at me on social media and like see something that wasn't real. You know, I didn't want to be a part of setting a beauty standard that was fake. And I think that's really because like I just am really in tune with like girls who are 3, 4, 5 years younger than me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I personally have never, like, I have never even had the Facetune app. I've never edited like the shape of my body. The one thing I admit to this, and you can see it in my photos, I make my tan a little bit darker. Whenever I get a spray tan, I just add that saturation a little bit, just make me a little more glowy.
Oh yeah,
For sure.
and we've all been doing that. I mean, I don't think there's harm in. I mean, because you can get very artistic and like creative with things, the way that you're editing your photos. I mean, photographers do it for wedding photos. That's completely different,
Right.
You know, but the one thing that we also chatted about are these new filters that alter your face.
Freaky.
I mean, it's crazy to me. And honestly, I have some of them saved on my Instagram, but not honestly because I wouldn't use it though. It's just on there for me to be like, oh my God, because sometimes I'm like, hey, maybe I could use this. And then it's like making my nose smaller and everything. And when you turn off the filter and it goes back to your actual face, I'm like, shit, I like got a lot of work to do. Like it makes me feel so bad. So I just personally cannot use those filters because it's unrealistic.
Yep.
I don't know. I think that messes with your head so much when these girls are using these photos the filters rather, every single day.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, how do you even know what you actually look like?
I agree. I 100% agree. I'm a big fan of the Paris filter because it doesn't change the shape of your face.
It just smooths everything out.
It makes you glow. That's what I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of anything that makes you have a little bit of just like a healthy, just glow. But the ones like you're talking about, I agree. I think it's just not good for you. I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. I would never use it on my face. And I hate to be like this, but whenever I see somebody who's always using a face changing filter, I immediately think they're insecure. I hate to say that, but I do. I just assume that they don't want to show how they really look because they're insecure. And that kind of goes back to how you're perceived on social media. We're on it so much that it's like only natural, I think, that we have all of these thoughts that come into our head and preconceived notions about people. Like, I can't help it that that's what I think.
Yeah. No, completely. And I think especially if people are using that filter, obviously it says it right up top.
Right.
So like I've definitely clicked on them before and saved them because I'm like, oh, I just want to see. And then when I put it on myself, I'm like, so what the hell does that person actually look like? I'm confused. And that's where going back to like how Instagram is just so different nowadays. It's not like your fun photos or like your fashion photos. For us, it is.
Yeah.
But there's people that are on Instagram now that are literally paid to be half naked on Instagram all the time.
Yeah.
And because they have their great bodies, and listen, all power to you. Like, I wish I looked like a Victoria's Secret model, but I don't. And it is what it is. And I accept that. But then, when we look at people and idolize people like the Kardashians, I mean, they've had a lot of work done.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where we need to recognize that a lot of these people that we do see in these photos and on Instagram, a lot of it is either edited or they have the money to fix themselves to look certain ways. And that's where it just sets unrealistic expectations. And freaking social media just kills me sometimes. I love it, but it sucks because I'm like, I don't want to feel bad about myself.
Agreed. And that's something that I've talked with like multiple women about, specifically like the half naked Instagram. I 100% like, again, post literally whatever you want. Like, I'm never going to make somebody feel bad for showing off their body. Like, do whatever you want to do. But something that I've heard a lot of people say, and that I've actually done, is people saying that, some of these like little bikini accounts, like they unfollow them because if your feed is just flooded with like perfectly shaped bodies and you're even the slightest bit insecure, that doesn't feel great. You know what I mean? Like, and the thing is, every single one of us has a day, whether you're insecure all the time or whether you're only insecure on the first day of your period.
Yep.
Like every now and then those thoughts creep in. And so I really appreciate people who are honest and who can talk about and own up to like, you know what? I unfollowed whatever account because it made me feel like shit. Like
Yeah.
you have to be a responsible Instagram user, I think.
You do, and you have to take it upon yourself. And honestly, I've done that. I mean,
Me
I
too.
don't follow Hailey Bieber because I think she's beautiful, and I yeah, whatever. I love how she looks and everything, but I'm not going to look like that. I
Yeah.
know I will feel bad. And that's just me. Like, that's not everybody. I mean, people can go follow her and probably not feel that same way. But
Yeah.
instead, I follow like this model, Sophia Jamora, who has the same body type as me. And I think she's so beautiful. It makes me feel empowered to look at her.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, that's what I look like. Or I look more similar to her than somebody else. Or even Gronk's girlfriend, Camille.
Who's
Is that how you say
Gronk?
her name? What? The football player?
I don't know who that is.
Oh my God. Okay. I'll show you,
you know, I don't
after.
get, is he an NFL player? I don't keep up with the NFL.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
But like his girlfriend too. I mean, she's beautiful and everything, but she's curvy also.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like picking your lane. And I just choose to not upset myself by following Kendall Jenner and Hailey Bieber and all these people
Yeah.
because I don't look like that. And I'm not going to put that thought into my head that I need
Right.
to look like that.
Yep. God.
You
I
know?
have like a select few. I would like to kind of do an audit of my Instagram because I appreciate fantasy. Like I really do. I love these models who are so unattainable. Like for
Oh,
me, it
okay.
doesn't
I
make
was like,
me
what are
feel
you
bad.
talking
Like it's like so perfect that it's like so unattainable that
Mhm.
I know I will never look like Kendall Jenner, but God, I love to follow her because I'm like, it's incredible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like,
How do
holy
you look
shit.
like that?
Yeah.
And yeah, there's definitely two ends of the spectrum for sure.
Uh-huh.
And you know, a lot of that stems from just like my own personal stuff that I've gone through.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's
no,
why,
no.
you know.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, for sure. I mean, she's freaking hot as hell. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn girl, like, do you? I just personally need to. I mean, I
Yeah.
check her Instagram sometimes. I just don't have it pop up every single day because
Yeah.
that would be a little crazy.
Yeah.
But
But I don't know. I appreciate like celebrities and like obviously unattainable things aside, like just your regular old folks. I just appreciate people being a little bit more genuine, a little bit more real. I don't know. And like I don't want to like go down a full on rabbit hole of social media and dating, but like whenever you are looking for someone to date from a woman who is interested in men's perspective, if I get on your Instagram feed
Yep.
and I see that you have whitened your teeth so much that you can see them from damn outer space, this is a red flag. I'm like, you are not going to be the right. And I feel bad saying that. Do whatever you want. But for me, that is a hard pass. And that's just something to remember, you know?
Yeah, and I think it kind of, Lauren, it feels very strongly about men that don't have social media also. So I think whether you don't have social media or you do have social media, please keep up with it. For the love of God. There is nothing harder in the world than when a girl's like, hey, I'm talking to someone. Oh my God, show me a picture. That is the first thing that your girlfriend's going to ask for. I want a picture. And if your picture is from 2010, when you're dead ass 13 years old, like, come on. Keep it updated for the other people.
It's from
I
2017.
can't.
You're like, okay, imagine this, but like tack on 5 years. Like,
They have different color hair now. Like some boys are like blonde when they're babies, and then they have brunette hair. Like we need to keep things up to date,
yes.
tidy up.
Boys mature like a freaking weed, you know, like they
Oh.
go to grow like a weed, whatever. They go to
They
college
mature like a weed.
and they look like they're 12 and then they graduate and they're men. And so if your social media is not up to date, like I'm embarrassed.
Yeah.
On behalf of you, on behalf of myself, I'm embarrassed. And whenever my friends ask about it, I'm going to just be like, oh no.
Talk about your men with social media, because I honestly need to hear more about this.
Listen, okay. My wrist is hurting. I'm getting worked up. So when men don't have social media, not just men, anyone doesn't have social media. For me, it is the biggest red flag. We live in this kind of world.
Yeah.
Honestly, we're sitting here talking about not keeping up with it. Even if you have it, I will let you into my life.
Mhm.
If you straight up don't have any of it, you're off the grid.
Mm-hmm.
This is a big no. You're not going to be my friend. You're not going to be my boyfriend. You're not going to be nothing to me because you're a freak. I'm sorry.
Nothing at all. You practically don't exist.
That was really harsh, but let me give you a little backstory. This isn't I don't know. I don't care about this guy. He's literally should be in jail. So, okay. I met this dude in college at a coffee shop, right? I was doing a story. I was interviewing the owner, and this guy was in there ordering. He was such a little cutie. And so we exchanged numbers, and he didn't have social media. And I was like, And at that point in time, I don't think I had encountered anyone that was actually trying to come into like my circle without social media. And I was like, interesting. I wonder why. So we don't like talk in a serious way. We just are kind of, like texting, like considering maybe like getting drinks or something.
Yeah. Catching up.
This guy goes, I'm nauseous. He literally says, like before we like get together, I do just like want to give you a heads up, kind of give you some reasons that I'm not on social media. And I'm like, oh, this will be like insightful. He says, I'm just like working, I'm kind of caught up in a court battle right now. I'm in a lawsuit. And I said, that's interesting because you're like 22. What happened? He says, some bitch on spring break. And I'm like, oh, what happened here? He says he hooked up with a 15-year-old. Yeah. On spring break. And
what?
Then proceeds to blame this girl and her crazy dad and is saying that she looked 18, she came into the bar, the whole slew of excuses. I was so disgusted. I blocked his phone number, and before I blocked his phone number, I said nothing for like a hot like couple hours because I was just like in shock, just sitting there by myself. And he like double text and says, are you really mad about this? I said, block, forgot you exist, forget I exist. And so I think that kind of has tainted me because now if I see you without social media, I assume you have something horrible to hide. Like he ruined that for me.
Wow.
It's not, so I don't want to go down like the, rabbit hole of how disgusting that is, but that actually happened. And so now I don't know. What are you hiding? If you don't have social media, what are you hiding?
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like some people just are not into it. And I know that's so hard to believe, but like, that my ex and like he had Snapchat, but he didn't have, and I would always be like, Lauren's so disturbed. But like,
nope.
He just wasn't, he hated taking pictures. So it's like, what is he going to post? And that's what he would always say. He's like, I don't like taking pictures. I never think to take a picture. If we had pictures, it would be because I'm like, oh, let's get a picture. Mm-hmm. And he's like, okay, I don't. Lauren's like, I don't give a shit.
That's right. I feel like I need to like issue a disclaimer. Something I should have said this before I told that like awful story. If you don't have social media, like I don't just actually assume you're like a criminal. Like let's be clear on that. If you're out there listening and you're like, oh my God, is Lauren saying everyone without social media is a criminal? Mm-hmm. No, I'm not saying that. You're not a criminal. You're not a perv. Like I'm sure there's people out there who are normal, but it just gives me a pit. It just makes me wonder. Like, why do you have a smartphone then?
Well, I think especially, agreed. Why don't you go back to a flip phone?
Right.
Like, also, are those even sold anymore?
Oh, for sure. I'm sure they sell flip phones at Urban Outfitters.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, they definitely do. But I feel like, especially when you first meet someone, nowadays, you don't even ask for someone's number. I feel like people ask you for your Instagram or something. Like they want to, because that's how they get an insight into your life. It's like, okay, like what do they kind of do for a job? What are they into? Blah, blah, blah. Because, I mean, you could meet a super nice guy that you think is like very preppy and whatever, and then you see that he's into like EDM music and loves to go to music festivals. Then you'd be like, okay, whoa, that was a completely different person than I thought.
Yep.
Yeah, Instagram or just social media in general tells you a lot. I want to bring up Snapchat also. Was Snapchat like huge for you or no?
So I used to be very into Snapchat, and once I graduated college, I quit using it. The only time, so whenever I was in high school, Snapchat was like very big as far as just like snapping back and forth, like keeping your snap streak alive.
Oh my God.
I wasn't ever really into like messaging on Snapchat, but like I was snapping, rapid fire every day just to keep the streak up.
Oh, for rapid fire.
Yes. Like boom, 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 the morning snap. But I feel like then in college it took a turn and things that weren't appropriate for my Instagram story lived in Snapchat. And I kept it up, I think, until I graduated. And now I don't use Snapchat. Like, I don't remember the last time I sent a Snapchat that wasn't a memory. Yeah. I like to get on there every morning and just, like, look at the memory because they're, like, hilarious. But I don't look at stories on there anymore. I don't post stories, really. So I don't know. But I don't want to delete the app yet.
I know. I feel like it's definitely kind of, like, gone in waves.
Yeah.
I, like, Snapchat was huge. I'm not gonna lie. In high school, I'd Snapchat like every boy on my list. Like if I thought there was a cute picture of myself, I'd be like, yep, yep, yep. Like all the potential people. I hate myself.
Yes.
But like now, I don't use Snapchat. I really just post on like my private Snapchat story. But there is such a distinction, and I'm so glad that you said that, between an Instagram story and a Snapchat story, because for some reason it's like, oh yeah, we can let all these weirdos follow us on, not weirdos, but like people you don't exactly know on Instagram, and you're a little bit more poised on Instagram, I would say. But then when it comes to Snapchat, it's like, if someone randomly adds you, you're like, ooh, who is this weirdo? Like,
That's
nope,
true.
creeper. Like, I'm not adding them. And then you post yourself like blacked out drunk on Snapchat. I mean, the things that I would wake up to in college on Sundays, that is why my private Snapchat story is called Sunday Scaries, because it just like for so long. And I mean, that I don't even post that same content anymore because, you know, now I'm an adult and whatever.
We're classy ladies these days.
Classy. But I would wake up and be like, why did I ever post that on my Snapchat story? But why did we think that you could go like balls to the wall on Snapchat stories, but not Instagram ones? Like, where did that start also?
I think it's because Snapchat is more private. You know, like you
Yeah.
get to select, like hand select and accept who sees your stuff, which I know you can do that if you have a private Instagram, but I've always been on a public account.
Yeah.
I don't know. The older I get, the more I'm kind of off the rails on the Instagram stories. Like I've gotten real loose with it.
Mhm.
And I mean, of course, it's not nearly as crazy as it was whenever I was like 21 on my Snapchat story. But like, I don't know. I used to really keep it back. Like I would never put anything that had a curse word in it on my Instagram story. And I would only post like every now and again. But now, like, the Instagram story is almost like my day to day is how I use it. And I was trying to explain this to you yesterday. Y'all, someone send me a message and tell you if you know what I'm trying to say. But like, if I've been following someone for like 5 years and you've never posted a video of yourself, like I've never seen you in motion or
In
I've heard your voice, like I think that you're a robot.
Yeah, like you don't exist.
I think you might be fake. And like even people that I've met, I don't know. I get in my head sometimes. I'm like, when was the last time I saw like so and so in motion? Isn't that weird?
Motion. That's so funny that that's like the phrase you're using is in motion.
Like I can't explain it.
No, I totally agree. I really do. Also with Snapchat, can we throw back to the time when you could see other people's best friends? Like, I don't know if that caused waves for you, but wow, if you were talking to a guy and you could see all their other people, like, wow, wow, wow. When they got rid of that, that was the smartest move that Snapchat ever did, because they were ruining relationships left and right. Friendships, relationships, everything. People were being sneaky on Snap, because then they have like the few second thing and they're like, oh, I can send whatever I want.
That's what I think. I like actually remember the very first time I heard of Snapchat. I was sitting in the car rider line getting ready to get picked up in the 9th grade. And I remember like my guy friends were like, yeah, have you heard about Snapchat? And I was like, what is that? And they were talking about it. And I was like, why do you want the picture to go away? And I was like, what? Why would you want that? And then like as soon as I got the app, like no one was sending me dick pics, but then I just started to hear. I was like, oh, I see what people are using this for. And isn't that funny? I feel like it was really only used for like salacious photos for a little while there, and then it became more social, like social media.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely like always used it as a social media type thing,
Yeah.
but I know so many people that used it to be a little
And
not snooty. I can't think of the correct word. Snooty. Why was that?
nefarious.
Oh,
That's not
wow.
right either. That's too strong. That's too
Like,
intense.
Mysterious, I guess.
Look,
I don't know. I can't think of the word.
The amount of accidental dick pics that I have gotten on Snapchat compared to like text messages is through the roof. You know, like,
Are you serious?
yeah. I mean, it's not like 100, but it's like,
Oh my God, I've never,
handful.
I don't think I've ever received one on Snapchat like
you
that.
serious?
Oh, no. There's only one time I ever received that type of photo, and it was over text, and it was horrible. You know this
I
story.
do know that story. That was bad.
That was bad.
That
was-
was funny.
That was scary.
No, I remember one came from a friend of mine, and we were like medium close, like close enough for me to have to see him again. And I got a Snapchat from him, and before I opened it, I got a text from him, and it said all caps, "Do not open that snap." And I was like, what? And so I'm like, okay,
I have
everyone,
to.
like all my girlfriends, come here. Of course we're gonna open it together now that you said that. And I opened it, and I was like,
Oh my. This is so bad.
no, I don't want it.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's happened to me. I mean, I feel like probably a handful of times that's happened to me. It's all been on Snapchat. I've never gotten it on any other platform.
Oh my God, now I feel like I have to tell my story.
Do it.
Okay, so I'm not going to say who he is because he's actually like dating someone like that's very well known now.
He's high profile these days.
Yeah, now he is. So we had like talked, like we were hanging out for a little bit, and I hadn't talked to him in probably like a year. And my senior year of college, I think second semester, I was out at the bar like drunk. Literally out of nowhere. No conversation was being had, nothing. Just straight up sends me a picture of his dick and just said, "Hey." Sends another one. "What's up?" I was like, oh my God, I need to burn my phone. Do not. What? No. So bad. I literally went home, and one of my roommates at the time was coming home from her nursing rotation. And she was chilling on the couch, and I just came in and like put my elbows on the coffee table and just stared into the distance. And she was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "Please look at my phone. Like, just look at what I received." Oh my God. Like, and the next day he totally apologized. But I was like, that is disgusting. I don't ever want someone to send me that ever again. Do not send unsolicited dick pictures to people. That is disgusting. That is so gross. Oh my God. And the worst part is that my mother thought he was the nicest guy in the world. And I mean, he is really nice and everything, but that was just kind of weird. Something was clearly happening.
He was having a rough time, a rough patch.
And my mom was like, "How is so-and-so, blah, blah." Like, she really liked him, kept bringing it up. I'm like, I'm done keeping this a secret. I have to tell you. So, like, even when I was home just now, she's like, "Did you ever tell John," who's my stepdad, "did you ever tell John about what he did?" And I was like, no. Like, literally, I will never tell him. But it was just.
First of all, like, I do not think that that's okay to do. But, like, a teeny piece of me can appreciate the confidence.
Oh, for sure.
He just
go
said,
ahead.
"Hey, what's up?" What?
I was like, "Sir, I am so not that person. Like, I was not the girl sending around pics of herself." So, like, getting that was the most alarming thing to me. I literally wanted to cry. I was just like, I don't know how to react. I don't know what to do about this. But that kind of makes me think also, which was one of the comments that we wanted to make, about, like, promiscuous photos on Instagram. Like, we know girls love to post their butts just right there in the camera.
Just an ass pic.
Yeah.
That's it.
Full on.
And the caption is, like, "Look at my haircut." It's like, what?
I mean, how do we feel about that?
So, I think you can do, again, I do support whatever you want to do. Like, if you really post your butt, I don't care. Like, I really appreciate confidence. And I think that we are so past the times of, like, prudiness and being like, "Oh, like, that's trashy." Like, I don't think so. But something that I just try to keep in mind with social media is intention. You know what I mean? Like, if you're looking for the kind of attention that an ass pic brings, go for it. If you're not looking for that, then don't post it. Like, I just don't like it whenever I hear people be like, "Oh my God, like, I can't believe, like, I posted this picture and a bunch of, I don't know, like, the comments are kind of rude or something." Like, I think that you just unfortunately have to be realistic and understand, like, what comes with the territory. You know what I mean?
No, I totally agree. I think that
sucks,
it's what you want to post. And like you said, totally have the freedom, do whatever you want. It's your social media. I don't care. But it's also, what is that phrase where it's like you, something about the company, like, it's just pretty much like the people that you attract is what you're kind of putting out. And that's where we're talking about, like, Instagram and Facebook, social media in general. How you portray yourself on the internet are the people that you're going to attract at the end of the day. And especially if you are single and looking for someone to date, I mean, I would keep that in mind for sure.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to come across as this human being that you're not.
That's true. I think it's just being authentic to you. And you just reminded me, whenever you said company, I took it in, like, a job sense.
I'm looking up that phrase. Yep.
Okay. Like, oh shit, what was I about to say? Okay. Whenever you post something and, like, people want to talk about, oh, like, what if you can't get a job because you post whatever. Something that I have worked for companies that were very strict on things that you could say and post and do. And you just have to think, okay, is this a company that I value more than my social media? Like, to me, you have to just choose a lane. And for me personally, I'm like, I support and stand by what I post on social media because I take it seriously. So I'm not a good fit for a company that thinks it's inappropriate or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that you just have to keep that in mind. And again, I mean, it's unfair to get mad at a company who has a policy like that because it's their company. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you don't need to work for the company if you knew ahead of time going into it that you can't be posting stuff. You know what I'm trying to say?
Oh yeah, for sure. I
That
mean,
was
if your
wordy.
values don't align, then
Yes.
that's okay. I think it's also the internet is just so different nowadays
It
than it was. I
is.
mean, we're talking about posting ass pics. I mean, you couldn't even post a picture with a drink in your hand like 10 years ago without people being like, "Oh my god, don't do that." And now it's like people are dancing half naked on TikTok and like doing
Yeah.
all these things, swearing and whatever. Like we keep joking about how our moms are like, "Stop swearing on it,"
Yeah.
and everything. And that's totally normal because that's kind of what they grew up with. But I think we're in a time with the internet and social media that things are a lot more loose than they used
Definitely.
to be, and it isn't as alarming when we see a picture like that or hear someone swear or do something where I think our parents would be like, "Oh my god," like if
Yep.
I personally could never post something like that, but that's not who I am, and
Right.
that's totally okay.
Right.
But if that's what you want to do and that's what you feel confident doing, I applaud you because I wish I could be confident enough to do
Right.
that.
I 100% agree. 100%.
Ugh.
Did you ever, I know that you were in a sorority and we need to do a whole sorority episode at some point. Did you ever like post pictures at parties and you put like an emoji over the drink in your hand? Did
Oh.
you get in trouble for that?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I remember our rule was like you can't post with a bottle, even if it's a Sprite bottle. We know it's vodka. And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah, I think I always tried to refrain at that point, especially because I think even in college a little bit too, my parents would always be like, just try not to post like super
Yeah.
crazy partying pictures
Yep.
and stuff like that.
That's very good advice.
Yeah, so I would try like not to post pictures with that because I also didn't like having to put the emoji over it and everything.
It's a
but
pain.
yeah, I mean it's crazy. Social media is just like
Yeah.
we could literally go on for hours about social media. But
Yeah, I know. I feel like to wrap it up, kind of like the high points from this episode are like for me, just whatever you decide to do with your social media, just be intentional and be genuine with it is my biggest thing. If you don't want it to be something that's a reflection of your brand or whatever or your career, don't make it. Just make it for fun, but still be intentional in that. You know what I mean? Like just pick and think about what you want your social media to be and roll with it. And I mean, some people probably hear that and they're like, oh my God, it's not that serious. Well, then congrats. That's your lane. Not that serious.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And I think another point too, it's so much easier said than done, especially when we're sitting here talking about social media and how you look and stuff. Don't care what other people think. It's your page. If they don't want to follow you, they can hit that unfollow button immediately. Like, and my friend Maddie always used to say, like, when we'd want to post selfies or if it was like a back-to-back selfie that was gonna like break rules, and she's like, it's my page, I don't care. Like, and I'm like, you know what, that is so true. If somebody doesn't want to follow me and they don't want to see my face over and over again, that's fine.
Yep. And that goes same for the editing. Personally, I
It's not
don't
my
like to
thing.
see someone who's obviously photoshopped. It makes me think negatively of
Right.
you. And so therefore I shouldn't follow you. And again, that's your page. You do whatever you want. You filter the hell out of your face. And it's just not for me. I just
Right.
simply won't follow.
Everybody does social media differently.
Yep.
And that's just how we do it at the end of the day, I guess.
Yep.
But, you know, don't come after us if you're editing your photos. Do your thing.
What was it? You do.
It
you.
is what it is. You
I
wanna-
don't have time for that. I'm just kidding.
All right, you guys. You want to take it away with where you can find a pod?
Yeah, that kind of wraps it up. New episodes drop every single Monday morning, bright and early. You can watch our show on YouTube. You can also listen as a podcast on Spotify, Google, Amazon, anywhere that you get your podcasts. We are on there. Any other, y'all? Please share.
Yeah.
We keep asking people like share, share, share. If you send us a text and say you love the episode, put it on your Instagram story. Do it.
Yeah. I mean, by all means, clip your favorite part of the episode and share that on your social media too. I think that will get some traction as well.
Yes, that helps more than y'all
Yeah,
know.
please share it with your friends. And we'll have some exciting news soon about where else we'll be streaming. On top of that, you can follow us on social media at Chicks and Dip Pod, Pod, on Instagram and TikTok. Oh my God, we forgot to do this on the last episode. You can follow us on our personal Instagram. Speaking of social media, mine is Jamie Burton with 2 A's.
Mine is Lauren_Wolverton. And I can't believe we haven't shouted out Mr. Kim's.
I know.
Mr. Kim's Instagram, I believe, is Mr. Kim the Cat. I think there's an underscore in there. But if you just search it. You can't miss him. He's huge.
I mean, he's freaking adorable, guys. He's on our story. I feel
He
like
started,
all the
oh
time.
my God, okay, I'm sorry. I know that we're trying to wrap it up.
Yeah, you have to talk
I
about
have to tell about this. So I thought I was finally having my viral moment the other day, and it was freaking Kim. It was his page. I posted a reel of him. It was like him just sleeping, and I was tucking him in on the couch, and I put like the little baby lullaby music over it. And then I'd like put my phone down and started to do the dishes. My phone was like, bzz, 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 and I looked and I was like, someone's spamming my page. Oh my God. I look,
Oh my
Mr.
God.
Kim's reel was getting like hundreds of likes so quick. And within 10 minutes, he got like, 7,000 views and like 600 likes. And then it just stopped.
That's so weird.
We had all this momentum and I was prepping. I was like, how are we going to do this? We're going viral. Jamie, how can we transfer the Chicks and
I
Dip
know.
podcast page to be Mr. Kim? Like, I was ready. And then it
Yep.
just stopped. It was really weird.
Damn,
I
that's so
know.
sad. Lauren's like, I wasn't prepared for him to go viral. Like, that's not the account that I need right now.
I
So,
know.
guys, help our page go viral, please. It would be great.
All right.
All right. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And if you have any questions or anything, DM us. Or if you have any topics you want us to chat about.
We'll see y'all next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.